commence. Hello everyone. Ciao, I am Andrea. Sublument is my project, my light painting project. Today, this beautiful sunny afternoon here in Italy, we are going to work on light painting portraits. This is my new website in preview here in this live streaming on YouTube. As you can see, there are several sections more enriched and more cured like before, more content, more guides, and you will find the content of these live streamings also on my blog in the section guides. Okay, like I was saying, today we're gonna work on light painting portraits. Why portraits? Because portraits are different from my usual work. I usually make landscape light painting because I like to blend the lights I create with the ambient, with nature, with the environment, where with the location where I shoot, where I create. With portraits, you get closer to the subject, making him, her, or it more visible. More details are visible to the user, so more problems are visible to the user, and we're going to work on them, to examine every aspect of a light painting portrait and how to work on them without making too many mistakes. This is for a beginner or for an expert light painter, photographer, or artist, whatever you are. Okay, where we can start? We could start talking about the basics of light painting. You know, if you are a beginner, maybe some passages are not clear, some steps are not clear. If you are an expert, okay, you already know what long exposure is. I must admit, sometimes I don't go deeper in some aspects of light painting because okay. There was some spam in the live chat. I'm sorry. I must admit, I jump over some steps when speaking of light painting photography because I'm thinking everybody knows the basics, everybody knows how it's made, the details. This time I will re-talk for one more time some basics of this beautiful visual art. I have problems with my voice, I'm sorry. You know, when you are making some long exposure shot, you set up a longer time. For example, 2 seconds, 5 seconds, 6, 10, 30 seconds, and balance the final result, the resulting exposure of the photography with the ambient, the subject. With light painting, you add an extra level of difficulty because you must expose the photo but also your movement and your light painting shape and your light painting source. This is very, very important. When you are making a light painting, I'm speaking about the painting itself, you must decide what shape you are going to make and how the resulting light will bounce on the different surfaces, on the subject, on the skin, on the human skin, on the fur. If there is an animal, a dog, a cat, a horse in the picture, dresses, different clothes, you must examine any aspect of the light painting photography. It's not so easy at the first time. Not the hardest thing to do, but if you go deeper in the details, you will notice the difference when you change the settings or change your shape when making the light painting. In a landscape is less visible because it's very wide. It's speaking about cinema or video making in general, the actor is usually portrayed very close. If you are not an actor, so you are not accustomed to have expression, facial expression, or particular poses. If you are not a model, it's not the director will not give you some close-ups, so many close-ups, because not because you are an idiot, but because you are not you are not accustomed to you are not used to have a such a close framing, such a close picture of you. I'm sorry, sometimes I miss some words. Okay, I'm Italian. English is not my mother language. What's the fact is, in landscape the framing is wide. So if you are doing some strange face, some weird faces, or you are blinking too much the eyes, if you are doing like a stupid expression for a second, for 2 seconds, you are not going to see it so evident in the final photo, and it's okay. It's part of the game. When you are doing a very close portrait, everything will be so visible. So you must work more on this aspect. The pose must be very must convince the viewer, must tell much a story. It's a harder step to do when doing something like the light painting photography. So you the second step the second point to examine is find the right pose. In landscape, you must take the balance, don't fall, and if you move a little the face, a little the chin, the hair is not a big problem, because you are able to mask any little aspect of this. When you are doing a portrait, everything is very evident. We'll see in my examples how something I left on the scene is very visible. I must remove absolutely. There are some mistakes I made no problem to show them, but what I want to show is how we can avoid them, how we can fix them in Photoshop later. And I will show you something in the videos how it's made. It was very hard to do because it wasn't a studio or a flat surface or a flat beach by the sea. It was by the sea, yes, but we were between some not comfortable rocks. My God, if I can't think about the night. We were so tired, but we do an extra half hour doing these portraits to see what happens, and I realized it was we could avoid because we were so tired. We should start earlier to have more energy and more focusing on what we did. But whatever, it's not a problem. We'll show later. Now we're going to define the let's go back to my website. If you want, if you are watching it on demand after the live streaming, sublument.com. This is the new homepage, new content. The guides are in the highlights in the first section, very evident. You can browse my guides. Some guides are in archive, so a bit old, but I will update them. Some frequently asked questions like what tubes, what lights I use, light painting tubes from Eric Paré, and my own homemade light tubes, acrylic transparent tubes. The camera settings I use usually during my light painting sessions from sunset to midnight. I think you can see in my shorts my previous content, and I made 2 hours live stream about the post-production of this session. Sublument.com. Now let's go and pick my photos. I promise I will be very fast because I don't remember what subscriber, what follower told me the rhythm and the pace of my live streaming were a bit slow, and it's a bit difficult to follow every step because it's the time the time of the content is very long, 2 hours. So unless you go you set the velocity of the time 2 times, 4 times faster, but it's not a problem. I'm trying to get more, give more rhythm to my content. Okay, let's select some photos. I already know them, so it's not a hard thing to do. And I will explain why Ilenia here is sitting and not standing like we usually do. Yes, this is beautiful. This one, no. This one, yes. And maybe this one, yes. Let's open with camera raw. Let's see if camera raw visible. No, just a minute. Okay. Let me shrink a little. Horizontal. Let me check if everything is in position. I selected this shot because it's just a test. Before starting, I expose with the flashlight the whole scene. These rocks were so dark, so no reflection at all. I must control everything. I must analyze the composition of the photo, and when it's totally dark, it's very hard to examine the composition of the photo. Sometimes you do some tests and go back to the camera and watch. I had no time to do all these tests. We go straight to the light painting. But before starting, I was just adjusting the focus on the model, on Ilenia, checking the hair pose, because she was at first sitting, but the legs were going backwards relative to the camera, and it was not good. Her waist was badly oriented. I didn't like. I was trying to hide one foot of Ilenia's, and one I like to have one visible and one slightly hidden from by a rock, just for test. It's the first pose of that night, sitting instead of standing, or standing on the knees. It was not impossible because the rocks were not so comfortable. Sitting makes the subject more still, so less movement, less possibility of being blurry. Okay, the mic was on. Less possibility, less chances of being blurry. Motion blur, micro motion blur was avoided, and you can think more about the torso, the arms, the face, half of the body. You must manage half of the body and not the whole body. That is more complicated in this case. So, a quick test of composition, camera on the ground, and finding a good place where I have enough room behind me to sit, or at least stand on my knees and make the light painting, a good light painting, because I can't do a circle, obviously. There is no space because I can't go underground. In this case, I can't go underground, and everything must be usable. Second shot is like this. I'm standing behind Ilenia because I want to make that shape you are seeing. That's why I am partially visible. I'm very blurry, but I'm visible. But who cares? At least I will erase myself with some tools on Photoshop or Camera Raw. I don't care. I don't care, because I was aware of my visibility, but I was aware of the shape I was going to make. A big ribbon close to the ground, a big ribbon that is tangent. I don't know if in English you can say tangent, but you can see the bottom edge of the ribbon is like touching the ground. That's what I mean. And that's why I wanted to make. And then on the left you can see a swirl, like I'm returning back to me and away from the subject, from Ilenia. That's the result I wanted. The pose is decided by Ilenia. Very easy to hold, and maybe it's 1 second. Yeah, 1 second exposure. Since there is no light coming from the moon, no light coming from anywhere, ISO 1600, 24 millimeters and 1.8 the aperture, because I need so much light. If we examine the photo, we can see here on the right there is my shoes or Ilenia's shoes. I don't remember, but there are some plastic shoes just for walking comfortably on the rocks. My mistake, because I didn't care. It was completely dark, and I realized later that they were visible. I don't care because they are so easy to erase. On this one, I'm clearly visible. This one, no, because I moved a lot. In this one, I'm clearly visible, but I'm visible mostly because on the final swirl on the left is longer, as you can see. So because it's longer, since it's longer, we have 1 more second of exposure, 1 more second of light bouncing from the rocks. As you can see, the white rocks, the very bright rocks on the bottom left, and they are bouncing to me, so they are making me visible. That's the problem. These are the problems of light painters. Here I am moving. The shape is not the best shape ever, as you can see, not so regular. A bit of knee is moving here because I did a series of shapes, so maybe in that second Ilenia was adjusting the pose. It happens, and it's okay. This one is better, more regular curve, more regular swirl. Not so visible. I'm not so visible. Ilenia is darker on the right side, and I like more. Because the shape, how I moved, gave more contrast to the scene and to the lights in general. This is the classic swirl I use for circles, because I'm moving towards the camera to give more light to the subject. Since there is no 3D effects in light painting, all is flattened, I don't remember the right word, but I go towards the camera to bring more light to the subject. You don't see my movement in the final light painting, but the subject takes more and more light. Less contrast, very bright. Maybe on overexposed face we'll see how it can be fixed. It's nice. Okay, nice. It's like she's looking at this rock on the right. It's nice. Okay. And this one, to be honest, I don't like this shape because there is an imperfection on the left, and you can see my don't remember my leg here. You know, on bottom of the knee. What is called that part of the leg? I don't remember. Is clearly visible, but I can blur in post-production. I can blur it. The shape, these curves are nice. I'm not so visible. I can blur myself. The factor I like is the light. The global light to the scene is very nice, and is 3 seconds. 3 seconds makes the scene more bright because I moved very much. I moved so much in this scene, and the rocks are very, very bright, as you can see. You can see the difference. Here the surrounding rocks are still dark, and this time are correctly exposed. Now, change of the pose or change of everything. I went in this hole, you can see on the left of the frame. I went there with the camera, rotate Ilenia a bit. She was still sitting on the rocks, and I made the light painting on the opposite side. In fact, we can see the shoes on the left, on the right. And maybe there is a torch, my flashlight on the left. Things that are clearly easy to remove. Those are very, very small details. They are dark. In the looking at the global photo, maybe you can't notice them. In a print, yes. On a smartphone screen, I don't think you will notice them. Or even in a YouTube thumbnail, you can't see them. Trigger fail, as usual. Here I am. As you can see, I was not so comfortable like I should usually do. No, I usually don't stay comfortable anywhere. First shape, very hard to do because it's from the bottom. I'm on my knees on the rocks, trying to be invisible. One large shape with a short tube. No, it's not short. They are. It's the Milky Way, the Milky White tube from Eric Paret's light painting tubes. You can see because of the greenish tone of the white, it's because my flashlight is more warm or is more cold, and aqua more plus yellow makes this beautiful greenish tone. Or greenish hue is more correct. Let me know in the comments if I'm saying the right things. First shape, 1 second of exposure, 1 second. I was starting clearly close to Ilenia to bounce a little the light on her face, and then a big curve behind her and a little curve too close, and to expose a little the rocks behind us. That's also the trick to do ribbons and waves. They are very hard to do because they must be regular and quick. You must be very, very quick in the making, in the action. But you are with the waves, with the ribbons, you are able to bring some light to the surrounding rocks or the location, okay, to the set, because you are rotating the tube and you are giving some lights in some parts that remain black, remain dark. Not easy, because you must calculate everything, you must coordinate breathe and the remote, the bulb mode, but the results are very, very good. Second one, no, it's not the second, third one, little Z shape, L shape, just to bring some lights to the rocks, to the surrounding rocks. I'm staying behind Ilenia, so not so much light on the foreground, on the subject, all on the back. But since the rocks are not so dark, the ground is light gray, it bounces the lights very, very well. So as you can see, the lights is the shadows are not harsh. The lights remain soft. This is a test I did for post-production. Let's reset to default. Reset to default. And this is the last one. The last one is a mistake because it's moving. Ilenia here didn't hold the pose. It happens, no problems. Maybe I started without warning, without when she was adjusting a little, so it's not a problem. Let me refresh the page. Okay, now select everything. I will use it for as the main shot to apply my post-production. First of all, select the optics. This is the Samyang 24mm 1.8, but the profile don't exist. The f1.4 profile works good. White balance on the tube, so the resulting photo makes all the whites very white, precisely white, and everything goes to magenta, and I like it. More surreal effect. This purple on the sky is nice, and the rocks very to white and gray. Is okay. The skin tones are okay because here Ilenia is tanned because it was end of summer and Ilenia likes to go to the beach by day and by night with me making some light paintings. A little more exposure, a little less highlights to get more texture from the tube. I need a new white tube from Eric Perez because this one I used it so much, so many times. I destroyed it. Shame on me. A little less contrast, a little less to get a bit of more details, and let's get some shadows out. Whites and black, I don't care. I don't care. No, I don't care. Clarity, about the clarity. Less clarity to create a nice glow. More little texture, no dehaze in this case, and add some vibrance and 2 points of saturation to exaggerate. Let's go to the color grading tools, color mixer, not yet the color grading. I don't like the greens. Okay, the green elements in these photos are useless, so I must remove all of them. Aquas to the blue, greens to the yellow, yellows to the orange, as usual. And some saturation, desaturating the green in the here in the foreground. That's it. Now, less contrast is nice. Let's see with more contrast how it's like. It's nice, but I don't like the photos in the rocks here are way too dark. If I increase the contrast. So I can do two things. I can apply a mask to the darkest parts of these photos and bring some shadows up. So let's go to the masks, range, luminance. With the eyedropper, I select the darkest parts and I set them saying no, this yes. No, the sky, I don't want the sky. to be part of this this shadow or this mask. No, I don't want to include the sky. Okay, perfect. Less contrast, bit more exposure. Let's see if it's applying. Not too much, okay, not too much, not too much. Bit of clarity to don't show some too much details of this thing. The sharpness, no. Less sharpness. Let's see before and after. It's not so visible, but it's visible. Okay, it's better than a kick in the back. It's not the best mask ever, but it's better than a kick. Or we can reselect the luminance range. Select more and exclude the sky. So low luminance. Okay, and subtract, select sky. Now the computer is selecting the sky, and I will subtract. Now is selecting the sky, but is subtracted by from my mask. So it will okay. Don't exaggerate, Andrea. I talk to myself. No, I'm joking. I'm not talking to myself. Okay. Maybe a little tint, cold tint, cold temperature tint to magenta, less exposure, before and after. Before and after. The rocks in the background, I don't like it. I don't like them so much. But it's better than a punch in the face, okay? Well, this is nice. This is very nice. I like it. Now, one more thing is removing the purple fringe. Removing the purple fringe on the body of Ilenia. You know, the light painting is making crazy the camera. That's why there is so much purple fringe, green, etc. It's basically normal. If you're doing night photography, long exposure is partially normal. Let's check some details. Not perfect, but usable. Let's see this one. Okay. Now the final touch, the noise reduction. Since it's 1600, we must go up with the noise reduction and some more sharpening, maybe. Let me check where the mask is applied. The sharpening is applied to these details. Okay, not so on all details. Nice. Before and after, let's see if okay, camera raw doesn't allow me to see a before and after, but who cares? We did it. And now the final step is to remove my shoes, my flashlight on the ground, and then we can go to work on remove the hot pixels. Maybe a crop could be interesting since it's a portrait. Or we can talk about a crop now, so the photos will be ready for the final YouTube short or the reel. Okay, let's cut some of the sides of the photo with instead of a 2:3 ratio, the classic ratio for a full frame sensor. I will go for 5:7 ratio to cut a bit of sides, because the surrounding rocks are not so important for our photo. It's a portrait, no? I think we are on the right way. The composition is nice. There is enough sky. For a good portrait, it would be like this. For a good composition, for example, or like this. But I don't want a close-up so close, because it's 24 millimeters, because I want to show some rocks, and the resolution will be lower of the final photo. I don't like this. So let's give some space, some air. All right. Enter to apply the changes. It's okay. Then I must crop these ones. Let's reduce some details. Okay. I think it's okay. Maybe we can cut more. A little. Voila. What do you think? If you are watching the video on demand of this live streaming, please leave a comment below and say what you think of my light painting portraits and my workflow so far on Lightroom or Camera Raw. I don't like using Lightroom only because I don't need a file manager, but the functions, the features I use on Lightroom, the feature I use on Camera Raw are available on Lightroom too. So for me they are the same. It's basically because I prefer to manage my files by myself on Finder, on my Mac Finder. Let's give a quick look. Okay. Select and open. You can see in the previews. On the previews, there are so many pictures re-edited for my new version of my website sublument.com. Come and take a look at my guides, my reviews. Now in this moment there is not available because it's uploading the updates, but in the next 4 hours it will be completely available as the new version, new photos, new contents, and there is more content to come, more reviews, more analysis of the live painting pictures, and recaps of my live streamings, recaps of my tutorials, new tutorials. It will be richer, way richer than before. Now this is a little time to wait for my Photoshop files to work. I think they are ready. Are they ready? No, not yet. Okay, let's go on. Talking about my website. For example, on my blog, I reviewed my dear Sony Alpha 7 III, Sony Alpha 7, not the R versions, not the S versions, the 7, the Alpha 7. I prefer the Alpha 7 series because they are all around. They can make very clear, crisp, nice photos, and the same is for the videos. I like the all-around tools because if I want to do a nice reel, a nice video in the completely dark night, I can switch to video on my Alpha 3, Alpha 7 III, and I can shoot with no light at all. And if I want a higher resolution photo for prints, I can use my Alpha 7. And the Alpha 7 IV is even better for talking about resolution. But my Alpha 7 III is 24 megapixels, so it's more than enough for me. The files are reasonable lightweight. SD card of 64 gigabytes is filled in months of work, so it's okay for me. And if you want, go to my new version of the website, and you can see all the pros, the cons, some frequently asked questions about the Alpha 7 III. More reviews of camera reviews to come in the future. If you want to browse my light painting experience of 2022, 5 different camera settings, from sunset to completely dark night, midnight with no moon, basically no moon, color grading, other things. If you want to go to my website, you can find all the details and more to come. All right. Let's switch to, finally. First thing to do is post-processing every photo with a batch processing, removing hot pixel. You don't see the windows, but I'm applying hot pixel removal on all the pictures, because it's long exposure, because many things. I think it will be very fast. Let me check. Oh, my story was... My story was not correct. I must re-upload the story. The link on my story to get on YouTube was not correct, and I don't know why, but anyway. Anyways, I should just a minute to upload a new story. YouTube, link on YouTube. Okay. I don't know why maybe because I was in a hurry, GIF, YouTube GIF, live now, live. And YouTube. Some music, and I'm done. I'm sorry. Okay. No. Okay, uploading the story. Just a minute because. Wait, ciao Franco. Hi Franco. Franco Meleki. If you are watching the live chat, Franco Meleki is the king here for 360 spherical photos and videos here in Southern Puglia in Salento. Okay. Okay, let me check if the link is the right one. Oh, perfect. If you have questions, if you have something to say, if you don't like how I work with pictures, with light painting, if you like light painting, you want to learn, thank you Franco. If you want to learn, if you want a portrait with light painting, if you want to work with me, if you want to say something, say it in the comments below if you are watching the video on demand, or in the video chat, or send me an email, a DM in the socials. I am completely at your disposal for anything. Now I removed the hot pixels from the camera, but there are some shoes here. Some shoes. But it is very easy to erase. Okay, so let's select with the polygon, select, and edit content aware fill. Let's exclude. No. Let's exclude the parts we don't need. The body of Ilenia. And add some here. Okay, I think the rock is okay. Apply a mask and go with a brush. If you are a beginner, I will explain in a second. To be honest, my edits here are very fast. Factor number one, because I don't have enough patience to do with to make very little edits. I don't have such patience. So big brush and be quick. Okay, but we must erase these shoes that were left on the background. It doesn't happen so often, but it happens. Okay, it's not common to happen. And this one is a flashlight I gave to Ilenia to wash. To control the environment while I was setting the camera. Erase quickly. It will be easier, I think. Let's select, edit, content aware fill. Photoshop did a great job. Let me check before and after. We are zooming too much. Zooming out is completely invisible. And it's okay. Now a little bit of patience because I must apply too many of them. This moment for no, I won't say that. Okay, the artificial intelligence is very intelligent, otherwise it was not called, it would be not called artificial intelligence. Let's give it a mask and then erase the mask where there is no need of it. To delete the shoes, I'm using a tool called Content Aware Fill. Content Aware Fill is a nice removal tool by Photoshop. It uses artificial intelligence. It's not new, but if you are maybe if you are a beginner, you don't know it, and use the clone stamp, selecting, etc., etc. Very annoying. It's a very annoying task every time. Nice, eh? I will select two from this framing and two from the previous, and then export them and finally create a reel. Very easy. Very, very easy. This is the number one, I think. Yes, number one and number two. Then let's go with this just to show. This one, the first one maybe is the best. This one also is nice, but I must remove myself. No, this one I don't like it, and this one, because it's different from the others. No, this is not good. Okay, first, remove the shoes. Select polygon, select. You can use the lasso, you can use whatever you want to select. Edit, content aware. Nice job. It was number 2, yes. Sometimes the artificial intelligence is not so, is very artificial and not intelligence. Sometimes, Adobe, I love you. Okay, now there is a problem. I'm visible. There is a big problem. Okay, big problem. I am completely visible. How I get rid of myself? How I erase myself with content aware fill? Maybe. Let's try first with the clone stamp. Clone stamp. Select the source and then apply with a nice flow. No. Here. With the nice flow, I can follow my movement, add some clouds. I'm cloning this cloud and it's not good. So let's take some of this sky from the left and then no. Then a little touch up. Let's take a little of this cloud here. It could be worse. Now with a brush I delete my I delete the mask where I don't need it, like here on the tube, and then with flow, with a lower flow setting, I can do better things, less harsh, more soft. And this is one. This is the before and then the after. It could be worse, okay? It's better than a kick in the back. But there is another way to delete myself with content aware fill. Content aware fill. One thing I miss that are those stripes made by some reflection on my hand, my my flashlight, my tube, these ones. I know you don't see my mouse, but these white stripes flowing with the tube, I like them. But I can't leave them. I must delete everything. So, content aware fill. Let's see what Photoshop does. The first attempt is not good. Let's erase many things. Many things. No, it still doesn't understand what I'm doing because Photoshop is not used to work with light painters. Photoshop's AI. Now let's delete some rocks. My processor, my CPU is working so much. You don't hear it. You can't listen. You can't hear the fans. Okay, content aware fill did a nice job. Let's see. No, let's see nothing. Let's see nothing. Color adaptation scale. Oh no. Okay. Output to new layer. Let's mask this new layer. And with the flow, let's do some strokes of brush and let's see what happens. I'm partially visible. The lines are partially visible and I like it. Maybe I can delete myself like this. Maybe. And let's go back to my brush. No. Okay, let's leave my part of my body visible. I like it. We can survive from this. This is the before. This is the before. This is the after with content aware fill, and with this is with manually full manual with the clone stamp. Or we can play with opacity and blend together the two things. Okay, blending the two things is better, but if you like my workflow, leave a comment below. Let me know in the chat. I know it's not perfect, but it's better than a punch in the face. Now, export. You don't see all the windows here, but I am exporting for the web. Let's go to my folder, files, second wave. Okay, light painting, YouTube. Sublument. This one, export. This one is without the shoes, yes. Okay, and this is the last one. You don't see the windows because I'm sharing only the ones I want to share. Okay, now let's open Final Cut Pro and create some good one reel, not so many reels. Okay. 1 second while I set up everything for my streaming. Real time. Duplicate project. My Final Cut project is ready. Now let's go to the Finder and find some good light painting. Ilenia here, yes, yeah. The files are easy to find. I must drag them in my Final Cut project and then we can start. If you are starting watching now, thank you for coming here. I previously worked on some files. Let's go to Photoshop. I selected some files from this light painting session. I explained the struggles when you do light painting portraits and when you do light painting portraits between some not cozy rocks, not comfortable rocks by the sea. Okay, like I always do. The mistakes we can risk, all the problems in post-production, all the problems while making light painting portraits, the small movements, the motion blur because the position is not optimal, what you can do to avoid them, beside the quickness of the realization, the making of the light painting, 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds maximum, at least, to give more and more light. I analyzed every shot, every aspect, the cons, the pros and the cons of any of the shots I made. I selected 4 of them and then I exported from Photoshop, then I will import them in Final Cut. Now the next step is find The next step is disabling the not the best position for the model and you. I know, Franco. We went in that location. The result is amazing. Grazie, Franco. Thank you so much. It was not easy. Now, the first thing is to resize the clips. You can look where my camera is and where I am in this crazy. I don't know, this is the last one. The last one is not I don't need them. I need the third one. Oh, okay, this one. Final cut, where are you? I know you are not watching what I'm doing now. In a second I will share it. Now let's go to this clip. This is me testing. Oh, this is Leia. Let's cut out my back. And now I must resize my 16:9 ratio video camera. And voila. As you can see, it's very very dark, very dark footage. Now is not the best, not the most interesting part. Anyways, I will be very fast. Okay, let's analyze what are my picture I need. Second wave. First one is okay. The second is weird, so it's the second. Number one, up, and number two, up. Perfect. Then the other one is let me watch. Okay, this is weird. I don't remember the number. I don't remember what the number is. Okay. This could be the first one. Okay, easy, easy, easy. Easy, easy. No, rendering. I don't need it. And thank you for the subscribers while I'm doing this live streaming, okay? Thank you so much. Thank you for all the support. Oh, now I must drag my 4 final pictures. But before I must apply a color correction, a color correction for each of the scenes. Let's start with this. First of all, the exposure up, everything up. The saturation is not important, the color more on the magenta, to make the whitest as possible, less green everywhere. I think or later I can apply some small fixes. No, new compound clip. Okay, nice. And a new compound clip. I need some water. Let's wait while Photoshop is applying some color grading. Okay, this is the first one. And the second one. Let's drag my photos. I know it's vertical, the photos are horizontal. I don't care. Okay, now I'm trying to overlap a little bit my photo to the footage. not precise, not at all, but I don't care. Second one here. Copy and paste the attributes to have this part more. Okay. Oh, bravo Elena. Then the third one. Let's overlap. It will be not so easy to show every part of this photo, but I will, okay? Okay, no, this one I don't need it, and I think, hoopla. Okay. I'm trying to be as quick as possible. Voila. They are actually very bright. The final photos are very, very bright. If you compare to the footage that is so dark and noisy. But I'm satisfied, okay? I'm totally satisfied. Okay. One more thing about the movement in my photos. Let's zoom and make some animation when show. I don't know. First I must set the duration of my photos. Change duration 1 second and 20 frames. I was trying to find the click of the trigger. 2, 1. Ok, allora, since this is shorter, I want to change the duration to 2 seconds to each photo and make a nice animation. Is 13 seconds. A nice animation to show how they are made, you know, like a canvas effect, for example. For example, start here. Let's add a keyframe, and on the last, let's do a movement to the left and a zoom in. Copy. No, don't copy. Let's make another one. First the keyframe. Zoom in and going this way to the right. Okay. This one. And this one I must go differently. Zoom a little, zoom out. I think yes, zoom out and on the left. Maybe it's too fast. No. Keyframe 1, keyframe 2 at the end. Zoom out. Okay. Zoom out everything and let's see how it looks. I don't like these moves, so the third one was moving too fast. Okay, not zoom in since it's very little zoom in. No. I don't know why Final Cut when moves the frames moves them in a weird way. I don't care, okay? Want to cut them here, the click. Oh, that's nice. Okay. Let's wait while it's rendering, and I thank you everyone for watching my live stream about light painting portraits, how to edit them, how to make them in real life, some tips. If you have questions, leave a comment below or DM and leave a comment on my socials. If you want to join my Sublument project, you can go to the Patreon on my links and support, or send me an email, tell me your idea. Okay, I'm actually planning a light painting tour in America, in Northern America, in the United States and or Canada. So let me know. Thank you, Franco. My #1 fan. And see you next time. Thank you, everyone.